As we discussed a little yesterday and whatever else, like, this doesn't close the door on anything. They could still draft a quarterback at 3, at 34 or 5, whatever the hell they are there. They could do, there's lots of options. I mean, again, Jameis Winston's combined with Russell Wilson is still making half of the bottom of the market for a normal starting quarterback, basically. So everything's on the table. And that's where you don't want him to be too presumptuous as well, because he could be saying all these things, I want to lead, and all of a sudden they trade down a little bit or at 3, whatever, and they take Shedeur Sanders, right? That's it. But I do think that this sign, and just back to that subject, I don't think we're going to see Shedeur Sanders at the Giants to number 3 anymore. I don't. In my heart of hearts, this tells me that's over. Maybe I'm wrong, but it does give them the option to take a quarterback, down the line somewhere else.
The same person who corrected me over the weekend and said Russell Wilson is still in play for the Giants has now said they will not take a quarterback at number 3.
Yeah, I don't think so either, right? It just doesn't seem like a Giants move. Again, just the feeling I get from the NFL as a whole is that there's not a lot of people that think Shedeur Sanders is a top 5 pick, right? And I'm not trying to be – I like Shedeur, like I said, but I think that's the general consensus around the NFL. That's for sure.
Now, they could take a quarterback at 34.
Exactly.
They could trade back into the bottom of round 1.
Right.
They could trade down from 3. They could have their eye on Blackson Gabdart, for all we know.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's go ahead and take a break, though. And look, I have a ton of respect for what Russell Wilson has done. But there's a point where – the window closes. And sometimes, quite often, the guy on whom the window has closed is the last guy to realize it. And I know that it's a spoiler if anyone has yet to see The Sixth Sense, which came out
too late
6 years
ago.
Late.
Yeah.
The player is usually the Bruce Willis in the episode where he realizes he's the last to realize he's already dead.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Right.
The wedding ring hits the floor and he realizes. And when it's been so much of your identity, when being a football player is the thing you bring to the table, it's the thing that's opened these doors for you. It's the thing that's laid the foundation for this great life you have. When that is slipping away from you and there isn't a damn thing you can do about it, that has got to be an incredibly difficult thing to endure. And I have empathy for Russell Wilson. But based on last year and based upon the fact the Steelers didn't want him and based upon the things I've heard about the assessment of Russell Wilson, he has to be thinking it's slipping through his fingers right now. The contract says it. The fact that there were 2 teams in play for him, the Giants and the Browns, it says it. And he's just a human being dealing with a difficult situation. And I think what's going on inside of him, I think it's far more than what he's going to let on. But he has to have real doubts about whether or not he still has it. And now he's got to compete with Jameis Winston, who might still have it, even though he's yet to be delivered from pick 6. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.